excited to be talking to you guys. You guys, oh my gosh, I just went live on my personal Facebook page, and I have all these people commenting who I know aren't in this group, and I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, who are these people? Why are these guys commenting on this video? Oh my goodness, I have to start all over. So here we are in the Naturalicious Nation group, and we are talking today about whether it's important or not for you to be doing both hot oil treatments and deep conditioning treatments. And what's the difference between the two, right? Do you really need to be doing both? Do you need to do one or the other? If you need to do one or the other, which one should you pick? And if you need to be doing both, how can you minimize the time and effort and money that it costs to do all of those, okay? So here we go. Before we get started, I do want to caveat, because I know someone's going to ask about my turban, okay? And I know we talked about, last week we talked about not using cotton or polyester on your pillows when you are asleep, because you want to make sure that you're not using cotton or polyester materials because they suck the moisture out of your hair. They're literally moisture leeches, right? However, satin and silk materials are moisture retaining fabrics. So if you're going to be wearing not bonnets, Lord have mercy, please don't wear a bonnet out and about, okay? If you're going to be wearing a turban or a scarf or a wrap like this, which I love and is so cute and is really great for lazy days, really cute for not lazy days too. But if you're going to be doing that, I really need you guys to make sure that you're doing one of two things. One, you're either wearing a bonnet or you're wearing a scarf made out of silk or satin, and you're wearing them underneath your scarf or your turban to protect your hair from the cotton or polyester that these are made out of, all right? If you don't want to do that on days like this, today it was blazing hot, it was like 200 degrees outside, literally. You can also, if you're a little bit more about it, or you're creative, or you got a little bit more time on your hands, you can actually take silk or satin material that you get from the fabric store and sew it inside of your turban or your scarf or what have you, so when you go to put it on, it's already in there and you just wrap it around and you go, okay? So please do that for me if you're going to wear turbans or scarves or wraps like this when you are out and about, okay? So let's get into the topic. So the topic today is, do I need to be doing both hot oil treatments and deep conditioning? And really, what's the difference between the two? All right? So the first thing is, it's important to understand that hot oil, or just oil in general, right? Now, there are certain types of oils that do penetrate your hair. There's not a whole lot of them, but there are some. But the vast majority of oils are unable to penetrate your hair. On the other hand, the same thing happens with conditioners. Most conditioners are not able to actually penetrate your hair. So when you add heat to these two things, which is what you're doing when you're using hot oil and deep conditioning, you actually are able to open up your hair's cortex and the hair shaft, so that the oils and the conditioners can actually penetrate inside of the hair. That is the whole point of deep conditioning and doing hot oil treatment. So you know, I'm always telling you guys, it's important for you to know what to do, but it's even more important for you to know why you're doing it. Because a lot of times we're just doing stuff willy-nilly because we heard somebody say it's a good idea to do a hot oil treatment or a good idea to do a deep conditioning. We don't know why we're doing it. We don't know what purpose it's serving. And so understanding why you're doing things, which is what I'm always trying to teach you guys, will help you to save time, save money, save frustration and energy and resources when you are embarking on your hair journey, okay? So again, remember, the first thing to remember is that when you are using a regular oil or regular conditioner, it does not have the ability to penetrate your hair shaft. It only works on the outside of your hair. Only works on the outside of your hair. However, when you add heat, generally this is either through indirect heat. Examples of that would be a hooded dryer or a heat cap. These are heat sources that are not directly touching your hair, so that's indirect heat. When you add indirect heat, or when you add natural heat, for example, when you put a plastic shower cap on your head and you allow the natural heat from your head to deep condition or do the hot oil treatment, those two things actually help to open up your hair shaft and allow the oil or the conditioner to get inside, and then it can actually do its thing. Okay, I'm going to address how long you should be doing each one of these in just a minute, okay? All right, so that's the first thing to remember. Now, the hot oil treatments, The great thing about hot oil treatments is that hot oil treatments actually help to minimize frizz. They also help to build protein in your hair and to help strengthen your hair, right? So if you are experiencing breakage or a lot of brittleness or anything like that, you need to be doing hot oil treatments because it will help to strengthen your hair. The stronger your hair is, the less likely it is to break. And if you are someone who is looking to grow your hair, right, which is a lot of people, if you're looking to grow your hair or even just make it stronger and more healthy, hot oil treatments are the way to go because it adds strength to your hair. It also helps to eliminate, with regular usage, it helps to eliminate the little knots that we get at the ends of our hair. So you know, sometimes you get those little knots, you got to pull them out or you got to try to cut them out or what have you. And what happens when you do that? When you pull them out, you actually end up with split ends. So now you've got rid of the knots, but now you got split ends. Now you got a whole nother issue to contend with, right? If you are doing hot oil treatments on a regular basis, you will find that you don't have the knots anymore. The knots are a thing of the past if you're doing hot oil treatments. So important. Also, remember, because oil cannot typically penetrate your hair's inside shaft, it can only work on the outside. When you add heat to the oil, which is what you're doing with the hot oil treatment, and I'll tell you how to do a hot oil treatment in just a minute, it actually gets inside the hair shaft. Okay, it opens up your hair shaft, the oil gets inside, and it smooths down the inside. That means that your hair is going to be shinier. You're also going to have more elasticity. And when you have more elasticity in your hair, what does that mean? That means popping curls, boo! Popping curls. All of us want our curls to be popping, right? If you are doing hot oil treatments, you will find that your curls are springier, they pop more, they shine more, just everything is just on point. It's just, you just on bleak, you just on 10 when you're doing hot oil treatments on a regular basis. And I'll tell you what that regular basis is in just a moment. All right, so that's what hot oil treatments do for you. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about deep conditioners. All right, now deep conditioners conditioners can only work on the outside shaft of your hair. They cannot work on the inside unless you add heat to it, which is what you do when you use a deep conditioner. All right, that's what deep conditioning is. So you add heat, and I'll tell you how in a minute. Just hang tight. When you add heat to a conditioner, you're typically deep conditioning, and now the conditioner has the ability to get inside the hair shaft. And once it's inside the hair shaft, it smooths down that hair follicle. It adds moisture. It adds conditioning. It smooths it down. It helps it reflect light. It makes it shiny. It makes it soft. Right? We all want that really, really soft hair. We don't want that hard, crunchy, like Brillo pad hair, right? You want that soft, like you want him to touch your hair and his fingers just melt all inside of it. That's the kind of hair that we want, right? And that's what deep conditioning will do for you. So do you need both hot oil treatments and do you need deep conditioners too? Absolutely, you need both because they do two different sorts of things, although they do similar things, if that makes sense to you guys, okay? So again, to recap really, really quickly, hot oil treatments are going to add strength to your hair. They help to build protein. They also they also get rid of frizz when you're doing it on a regular basis. They also help, which I didn't mention before, they also help to eliminate what I call cotton ball syndrome. And cotton ball syndrome is when you do your hair in the house and it looks great, and then you go outside and that humidity hits it, baby, and all of a sudden it looks like a cotton ball just attacked your head, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. That can all be reduced if you are doing hot oil treatments. Again, add strength, add shine, add elasticity, popping curls, shiny curls, bouncy curls. All that stuff comes from doing hot oil treatments on a regular basis. If you are someone, and I've seen several of you in the group who are like, my wash and go is not going. My wash and go is not doing what I wanted to do. I don't think I can do a wash and go. You may need to try to start doing hot oil treatments on a regular basis, and you might see that that changes because you'll have more defined curls. A lot of times we're looking for things to add to our hair topically, like put it literally on top of our hair, like moisturizers and creams, and those are important, but it's also what actually goes into that hair shaft. If you're not putting anything into that hair shaft to help it do its thing, it might be that you need to do that in order to get the results that you're looking for. When we talk about deep conditioning is going to give you the softness. It's going to give your hair the volume. It's going to give you, if you're someone who experiences very limp hair, like you do your hair and your curls, they're there, but they're not really like voluminous. They're not like, you don't have any volume to your hair and you kind of want those big, beautiful curls. That can be achieved if you are consistently doing deep conditioning treatments. It's also, like I said, going to give you the softness and all that great stuff, and it also helps with shine as well. And it also helps to eliminate frizz. So you do need to be doing both of these things, right? So I know the majority of you watching are not doing both because it's time consuming, and you also didn't really know why you were doing it. You just knew, like, you go to the salon and they do it for you as a service, and it's like, well, you know, do I really need this, right? You absolutely do need both. Now, how can you keep the time down, right? Well, you can keep that down by doing them at the same time. You should be doing hot oil treatments and deep conditioning treatments generally every single time you wash your hair. However, I understand that for some people that's not really feasible, right? So at a minimum, you should be doing both of these at least once a month. At least once a month. If you can get it in every single time you wash your hair, which generally should be every 7 to 10 days, that would be super ideal. I'm going to tell you guys like a little secret. Whenever I decide that I want to grow my hair out, like, I love my hair the length that it is right now, but there are moments where I decide that I want to grow it out a little bit longer, right? And when I do that, when I want to do that, I amp up my hot oil treatments and my deep conditioning treatments every single time. And every time I do that, I notice that my hair, it seems like it's growing just like wildflowers. It just grows and grows and grows. And the fact is that my hair is actually not growing faster. It's just that I'm retaining more length because it's so much stronger, because I'm constantly doing hot oil treatments and deep conditioning treatments every single time I'm washing my hair. So that's my little secret, and I'm telling y'all, and y'all can share it. Just make sure you give me credit for it, all right? That's my little secret for growing my hair out, right? I do hot oil treatments and deep conditioning every single time I do them. Now, I recommend doing your hot oil treatments and your deep conditioning treatments at the exact same time. One, because it eliminates the time that it takes to do them separately, right? That's the first thing, because honestly, a hot oil treatment generally is going to take you roughly about 30 minutes. A deep conditioning treatment is going to take you roughly about 30 minutes. So that's a whole hour of your life that you've kind of lost. And, you know, if you're really, really going for the gusto, you should be doing both maybe like 45 minutes. So, I mean, 45 minutes a piece, that's a lot of time that you got to spend, you know, just sitting around with stuff on your hair. So I recommend to do them at the same time. And how you do that, if you have the Hello Gorgeous Hair Care System, which is what we carry, the Hello Gorgeous Hair Care System, I recommend doing it like this. Take step one. Okay, you're going to take step one. This is my bottle. As you can see, I've been using it. This is step one. This is the Moroccan Rasoul 5-in-1 Clay Treatment. You would take this, put this directly on your hair after you've already washed with this same product. Because remember, if you have this product, and I know a lot of you in this group already have this product. If you have this product, it is a shampoo and a conditioner and a deep conditioner, a detangler, and it does the work of a leave-in conditioner, right? So the deep conditioning part is this. You take this after you've washed with this product one time already, or 2 times, or however many times you wash your hair in the shower. You're going to take this product, put it back on your hair, and now you're going to deep condition with it, right? And you have to layer it like this. So whether you are using Naturalicious products or if you're using some other brand's products, you must layer it in this way. You must layer the deep conditioning on your hair first and then the oil on top of that. Do not put the oil on your hair first, because as we have discussed before, oils lock in whatever they are on top of. So if you put your oil on first, your hair is going to be wet because you just washed it, but it's eventually going to dry because water evaporates. So once your hair gets dry, now you've got oil on top of dry hair, and you've put nothing on your hair to moisturize your hair. I just told you guys that deep conditioners moisturize your hair. So if your moisturizer is going to be on top of your oil, it's just going to sit there and it's not going to be able to really get to your hair, okay? So it's important to make sure that you do the deep conditioner first and then put the oil on top of that, all right? All right, so back to the strategy here. You're going to take in this case, you're going to take step one, Moroccan Rasoul 5-in-1 Clay Treatment. Take that, put it on your hair after you've already washed. Yes, you're going to use the exact same product. That is the whole point of this product, is that you can use the same product for multiple steps, okay? Put that back on your hair. Once you put that on your hair, then you're going to take step 3. Step 3 is your hot oil treatment. Before you put this on your hair, you're going to take this bottle, warm up a bowl of water, right? Make the water hot. Do not heat up the oil because you will burn yourself. And that's with any oil. If you imagine getting hot oil on your skin or your scalp, that will burn the crap out of you, right? So you're going to take a cup or a bowl of water, heat that water up, and then take the bottle and put that into the hot water. Allow the water to then heat up the bottle of oil, okay? Once the oil is warm, after you've already got the step one or whatever your deep conditioner that you choose to use is, once you've got that on your hair, you're then going to take the oil and you're going to pump it into your hand and you're going to smooth it all over your hair, right? Ideally, you will also part your hair and get the oil onto your scalp, all right? Because once you do that, you're actually going to be able to get, it's not only going to penetrate your hair shaft, but it's also going to get into your scalp and your roots and all that stuff. And you're just going to be like, beautiful. Your edges and your roots and all this stuff is going to be super, super soft. Your hair is going to have major hang time. You're just going to be looking flawless, honey. So try to part your hair, put the oil on your scalp, just like your mama used to do when you were a kid. You know, she used to sit you between her legs and she would grease your scalp. You're going to do the same thing, except you're using the hot oil treatment. And then after that, you're going to put a plastic cap on top of your head. It's important to put the plastic cap on top of your head because you don't want the deep conditioner to dry out, okay? Also, putting the plastic cap on your head allows the natural heat that we all radiate from our scalps to get between your scalp and that plastic cap, and it will help to deep condition your hair. Now, if you can turn it up a notch, if you happen to have a heat cap, or if you happen to have a hooded dryer, or if you have a steamer, because I know someone's going to ask about steamer. If you have a steamer, that'll work also. But a lot of people don't have hooded dryers or steamers at their house. So if you do have a heat cap, you can use that. But if you don't have a heat cap, do not fret, don't worry. Use a plastic shower cap. And if you don't have a plastic shower cap, I know you got some grocery bags. So take a grocery bag, but literally from like Target, Walmart, the grocery store, whatever, put it on your head, tie it up in the back, and boom, you have a plastic cap, okay? I do it all the time. I have pictures of me with Target bags on my head when I run out of plastic caps, okay? No shame in my game. All right, so that's what you're gonna do. Then you're just gonna chill. You're gonna just kind of silk it out and chill out for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you have the time. All right, some people will say you only need to do this for 15 minutes, but the longer you can do it, the better, okay? But you really don't need to go super ham with the time here. So 30 to 45 minutes is about the max that you want to do. Once you're done with that, you're going to rinse it out just like you normally would, and then you go about your day, style your hair as usual, and proceed on with your day, okay? Again, you want to do this after you have already washed your hair. That way, your hair is already clean. Some people do say that you can do hot oil treatments on dirty hair before you washed it. I don't see why you would do that because your scalp is dirty and your hair cannot thrive if you have a dirty scalp because your pores are clogged. So I don't understand why you would, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you put oil on top of clogged pores and the whole point is for it to penetrate? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I recommend that you do this on clean hair after you have already washed your hair. Okay, so once you do this, I'm telling you guys, if you do this, and you do this, especially if you do this every single time that you wash your hair, again, usually that's every 7 to 10 days, I'm telling you, you will find that your hair seems like it's growing crazy. And the reason for that is not necessarily because your hair is growing faster, but because you're actually retaining more length because it's getting stronger. Remember, the hot oil treatment is actually strengthening your hair. It's actually reducing the knots. It's reducing the frizz. It's adding the shine. It's doing all these great things, while the deep conditioner is adding the softness. Everything that you want that you probably aren't getting right now is likely to be achieved if you do these two things, but you got to be consistent with it. Remember a couple weeks ago I did a video and I said the one thing that you're not doing to self-sabotage your hair, and that was not being consistent. So if you want this to work, you've got to be consistent. At a minimum, you should be doing this every month, so once a month. But if you really want to see results, you got to do it every time you wash your hair. Now, again, you don't have to use Naturalicious products to make this work. However, if you do use Naturalicious products to make this work, it actually works better in my opinion. And I'm not saying that because it's, you know, my company or anything. It actually does work better because not only are you doing the hot oil treatment and are you doing the deep conditioning treatment at the same time, but the really, really great thing is that the step 1, the Moroccan Rasul 5-in-1 clay treatment, is also a detoxifier. So it detoxifies your hair of all the crap that gets embedded into the fibers of your hair. So a lot of times when we wash our hair, what we don't know is that there's things that get caught in there that that just don't have a way of getting out. And so when your hair is still looking dull and lifeless and all that stuff, even after you've done a apple cider vinegar rinse, and after you've done all these clarifying treatments and all that stuff, and it's still looking dull and dry, that's because it hasn't been detoxified. Most products don't detoxify the hair, but this product actually does. It naturally detoxifies your hair. Rasul clay it comes from the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, and it draws the toxins out, right? So when you do it with that product, with those two products, you'll find that your curls are popping. Like it will literally be magical to you. So if you are someone who's here and you already love the product, I'm telling you, try it with this and then come back and report in the group and tell me how you love it after you've done those two things. I used to actually call this process the Ooh La Locks Detox. But because it detoxifies your hair, I'm telling you, it's amazing. But it is my little secret for hair growth. And I know a lot of times we say, oh, well, people take pills. They take, oh, da, 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 da. A lot of times people are taking pills and they're literally taking gummy bears. Like it's literally just sugar. They're not taking anything that's actually going to help to grow their hair. So if you are doing these two things that I'm telling you, hot oil treatments and deep conditioning at the same time, you will find that your hair is quite amazing. I'm telling you, you've got to try it. Come back in the group and report to me and tell me how you love it. I want to see all y'all leave result reports. Tell me how you love it, because I can't wait to hear what you I can't wait to hear what you think. All right, so I hope this has been helpful for you guys. If you missed any part of this, make sure you catch the replay, because I've been talking for a while and I don't want to keep people all night. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Mwah!